Good morning, happy Sunday to you. This is a much different Sunday than normal because I'm shooting a wedding today. Yesterday I had one, and today is the second. Back-to-back weddings aren't easy, but I love them. So let's get to work. I am really excited about today's behind the scenes because today it is not me having to film myself. So let me introduce you to Ricky. What's going on, man?
How's it going?
So good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Scott,
Ricky.
Pablo.
Hey, how's it going?
So Ricky is behind the camera. Ricky, point the camera at yourself, say hi. Yeah, there he is. So this is really exciting because we finally get to take you along for a little bit of a behind the scenes, and I don't have to try to do it myself, which is not easy at all. First thing we always do is we try to get to the salon together and just introduce ourselves to the bride, and then we film, and then Pablo will leave in like an hour or so, and he will go to the next location. Now this couple, like most couples, I actually haven't met this couple in person, so my first indication of who the bride is when I get in is hopefully that they're wearing some sort of identifier, like a white shirt or something that says bride. And usually they're the first people that come up to me and say hello, which usually is my in general indication. We don't need to bring the whole case, and let's just bring what we need.
Okay.
Bride prep, without question, when we're shooting it together, there's two things we use. We use a 50 and a 7200, and that's it. We make it really easy. Pablo always uses camera 2. I always use camera 1 for no other reason but identification after the fact, because then when I bring in his entire camera, I know it's his. We always check before we start shooting. The sensors are clean because a single piece of dust shows up really well in 4K. When you're cleaning sensors, always point the camera down so the dust falls out and not around into the camera. We always check that we are all shooting at the start of the day in 24 frames, that we are on the same profiles, and that we are where we want to be. Good morning, everybody. Are we at the right place? We're the videographers. There's lots of us right now, but you will not see us all day. How is everybody?
Lauren, nice to meet you.
Hi, Lauren. Nice to meet you. You having a good day so far?
Yeah.
I'm Scott, that's Pablo,
Hi,
and that is Ricky. Ricky is the assistant, and he shoots a lot of behind the scenes stuff and all that kind of stuff. In here from the wedding?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Typically in a bridal prep situation, we'll get here and just kind of examine, figure out what we're doing, and figure out what shots we want to get. When they're not really fully in makeup and hair yet, we don't want to shoot too much because we won't really use a lot of footage because women don't really like shots without makeup and hair. Like if you're around 4,500 to 5,000-ish, and then just drop a little out of the yellow, it's pretty decent. Because it's fairly consistent light. Luckily it's not super tungsten like most places are. Really the lights that are creating more of an issue are the ones directly over people. Make sure your microphone's on. That was my reminder. I always forget to turn it on. She said they're only there till 12.
Okay.
Get some like 60 frame stuff. It'll be better than you being here and us having 2 shooters at this tiny salon.
Yes.
So when Pablo goes to another location, we use these little slingshot solo bags. They're like real small. He's only going to groom prep. The next time he's with me, we'll be together, but he'll just bring a 50, a 7200, because we both really like the 7200s, and he'll bring a couple batteries and make it really easy. A couple batteries. GH5s have pretty good battery life, so even in 4K, I would say probably get close to 2 hours of shooting, something like that. I don't really know what it is, but it works good. But he'll basically go with that, two lenses, which he already has 7200 on, and a monopod. And then the next time we meet up will be like 2-ish. Because you're at groom prep till 1:30-ish.
Yep.
And then we're setting up for the ceremony at 2:15.
Yeah.
Where you're going is where the bridal prep is.
So I'm just going straight to the batting cage.
Batting cages, they're there for like the next half hour. Get some shots as quick as possible of them.
Groom prep.
Then you're just going to tell them you're coming with them to groom prep. Go there, get your shots. If they're not getting ready right away, and you can get some establishers just with the camera.
Right.
I would say you can bring the Mavic, but I don't even like the look of the footage anymore comparison.
Nah.
It looks like a GoPro. Starbucks. We don't always go to like bride prep with 2 people. The only times we usually do are for the sake of Pablo needs to get the gear from me anyway, so instead of him like getting it the night before, he'll just come with me to bridal prep. I'll introduce him to the couple. He'll get all the gear he needs, and then he'll go to the next location. I'm always going for basically like 5 to 7 second clips. That's it. Nothing long. And all individual clips. I always like to really go for sequence shots, different angles of the exact same shot. That way it gives you stuff to cut between. Kind of sets up the scene. And usually in a sequence shot, I will keep the same clip going. It just helps me to quickly cut to it. What I think I'm gonna do is, if it's okay with you and if it's okay with your mom, I'm just gonna go, that way I can get the dress shots and then start getting some drone shots of the location. So, because when you get there, I obviously wanna get you getting, in the final stuff. So that'll give me an extra 15, 20 minutes. So I'll do that. Tell her I'll come and I'm just gonna get the dress and the main details, and I'll figure out a cool place to put them.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. See ya. So that is bride prep salon style. Salons are, unless it's a really, really nice salon, it's not anything crazy. So, but I always like to just go there. I think it also, I've never once in any wedding in my life been beat to a wedding from a photographer, and that's the way I prefer to keep it, because it kind of gives me this like somewhat leverage of I've been with them all day and they appreciate that I show up early. Even if I don't use a ton of shots, I still like it. But that's it. So we're gonna go now to the house where she's actually getting ready, and we are going to shoot the dress stuff, get that out of the way right away. I know it's really epic, 130 some acres, so there's gonna be tons of really good shots with the drone. So I wanna make sure that I get plenty of time with that. So let's do it. This is Ricky. Ricky actually does a lot of behind the scenes shooting.
How you doing?
And then the other, my actual second shooter is not here. He's with the guy. He's calling me. He's at a big Mack truck right now. So it's like this awesome truck, they said.
Awesome.
So I'm assuming that's the ceremony, which is super cool.
I'm just waiting for that to
Is
get
everyone
done.
walking down? Are they taking people down in tractors or what?
I don't know. I think maybe just walk right here.
It's super cool looking.
My assistant canceled. Her son cracked his head.
Oh, yikes.
She sent a picture. It's bad. So she's at the ER.
Oh, that
so I'm
stinks.
going to be bouncing a lot this morning. I have to go to Justin here. I'm glad I got that done, but they're a little behind.
Yeah.
So
well, if we can help you in any way, we'll do our best to do it. So
no, I should be okay, but I appreciate it. Well,
all right, no problem.
And it's good to know there's videographers, because whatever I miss.
Yeah, exactly. Screenshots. Nice to meet you. So they own 135 acres. So I think like that's a lot. That's like a lot of what you see. But this is just the parents' house. This is not where anything's actually occurring, except for I think maybe her getting dressed, but I'm not sure. But we're just gonna go get some dress shots. I always do that right away. It's a country themed wedding, so we're gonna do our best to get something that somewhat represents that. I'm not extremely tall, so I don't really know how or if it's possible for me to get it up there. Here, how about you just hold, you can just set that down for a second. Typically like to do some glide cam stuff with the dress, and I usually shoot that. I usually use a 12 to 35 for that. I usually have it at about 18 millimeters, which is essentially like 36, 35-ish when I do the glide cam stuff, because I like a 35 millimeter when I'm gliding, because it's a nice focal length. I will get my exposure and white balance set first. A lot of people asked if I use ND filters outside, and the answer is you absolutely should. But I don't. You don't really get that kind of time at a wedding to flip around with NDs all day, so I choose to bump up the shutter. No, I'm not telling you that's the correct way. I'm just telling you, when you shoot a wedding, it's really annoying to try to to put an ND over and over. It's about correct there. Okay. I also always use manual focus when I am doing glide cam stuff. I don't ever let the focus be determined by what it thinks that I should do. Also, I prefer a glide cam over a gimbal because this has no batteries. I don't need any more batteries to have to worry about during a day. I always do the same shot a couple times, a couple different directions to make sure that I got it. Sometimes you feel like you got it when you're shooting it, then you look in post and realize you definitely didn't have it. When you're using manual focus on a gimbal or a glide cam or something, you want to make sure that you try to keep your distance from where you set the focus. Also, I typically turn off any stabilization on the camera when I'm using the glide cam because it will sometimes try to adjust itself. Get that focus. I cannot tell you enough how important it is to make sure that you constantly check focus. I don't care if you're shooting 26K. If it's not in focus, it doesn't look good. I really like to use some reveals with glide cam stuff and all that. Once again, check focus. Okay, I'm happy with that. So the bride's gonna get dressed right now. It's just after 1 o'clock, she's gonna get dressed. We're gonna get, typically, obviously I don't get her getting dressed. I just get her, once she's in her dress and comfortable, I'll have her get in a good position to be able to do the final like zip up and button up with the bridesmaid or mom, whatever she prefers. So I will let her get dressed and then I will go get some final shots. Then they'll just be hanging out until 3 o'clock, I guess, which is a long time for a dress, but it'll give me plenty of time to get some really good drone shots because there's so much land here, which will be sweet. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna switch lenses. Actually, no, 12 to 35 is a good focal length if you're not really sure exactly where something's gonna happen because you obviously have a range. I like the 50 for those shots or for the 7200, but I can guarantee that's gonna be too tight if we're doing it in that room. So that's what we're gonna do. Pablo is on his way with the groomsmen, I believe. And I think they're coming to the same location. So everything lives in this one Pelican case, which has wheels, which is really sweet. And then all the audio lives in the other small Pelican case. So the good thing is all my lights, my batteries, my cameras, my lenses all live here. The other case for audio, we just simply bring with the small Pelican case, and then I have a large roller case for all the tripods, light stands, all that. But it's nice because everything's 3 cases. The only additional case is the Inspire, obviously, which is like the size of all 4 of those cases combined because it's massive. But I only take that out when I need it, and that's it. The good thing about this 12 to 35 lens is that I can completely handhold any shots I want because between the stabilization on camera and the lens, it's ridiculously stable. So I can handheld. I like a monopod just because I like the feel of it better, but I could just pop this off and get the shots I need with no problem and no stability issues at all, which is fantastic.
Lauren, you want me to get you your jewelry?
You love dresses?
Yes. It's all in the same box.
Where's my water go?
So if it's possible, can we shut this light off and can I get you
Yep.
by this window more
Yep.
so that we're not using that bright orange light?
Nikki's grabbing your jewelry, hon.
Okay.
Let's just move this for a second. Let's move these batteries out of the shot.
Well, nothing like random batteries.
It's off.
Do you have a straw and a lid?
It's much better. Much better. I'll just change this quick. And can you look out the window for me, please?
These are hers.
Just a little smile.
Is my flash bothering you?
It does actually. If you don't mind, if you want to, we can. I'm happy to switch spots with you in a second, and you can get a few.
We'll dance all day long.
It's how it works, right?
Yeah.
That's completely fine. I understand exactly what you need to get to. That's no problem. Just like you were, just kind of like glance out as you're putting on, like, let's just say the right ear, and then you can, and then she can jump in and you can do it again if you want. Just because this is probably like the best angle. You seem it.
Oh my gosh, he threw a rock and almost hit the screen. I was afraid that.
Who, Kelson?
Yeah, he was giving us all the rocks.
And then right when don't put that one on yet, just go in the motions of doing it. And then that way she can get you actually putting one in.
We can pretend to.
Okay. And then just a subtle smile. Nothing great. You don't have to look at me though.
Oh my gosh, it looked like a big dinosaur.
But you can be happy. It's your wedding day, right? And you're doing all the portraits together of everybody after the ceremony?
The whole bridal party?
Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right, I'm going to get some shots around the property and everything while you guys are doing these shots.
Uh-oh.
So typically the only like B-roll I get of actual like photo session stuff is when the couple's all together and when the bridesmaids and groomsmen and everyone are together in one pack. So since they're not doing a first look, so they're doing all their photos after the ceremony. So that's when I'll get all my B-roll shots of the photo shoot and also get time specifically with them. But I don't get any specifically during this time. I'd rather utilize this time right now to get some shots of this property. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Do you have a preference which drone you use?
Yes, anything other than the Inspire is not okay. Now that I have the Inspire 2, I literally can't use any other drone because the quality difference between them is massive, massive, massive difference. I'm not saying that because I bought the Inspire and I want to make myself feel like I spent money, but literally when I look at Mavic footage now, it literally is like I'm using a GoPro in comparison. Like at this point, it's not even usable. So if I can't fly the Inspire, I just don't fly it. All I use the Mavic for now is like vlogs, or like if I want to bring something in a book bag with me. So the case that I have, the nice thing about that case is that it basically has it ready to go. The propellers are the only thing you have to put on. You don't have to take the gimbal off. You don't have to put it into landing mode. You literally just put props on and you're ready to go.
So what's the quality difference? I mean, obviously.
It's just, they're both 4K hypothetically, but I really like that this one shoots in 4K 60 because I just really like the way it looks. I also it's hard to explain like what the difference is because they both obviously claim to shoot 4K, but just the actual difference of the quality that you get on the file. And the biggest difference too is like this has an actual Micro Four Thirds lens on it. So when I'm actually doing shots specifically with a couple, I can actually get like a GH5 look with depth of fields and like an actual look of a camera on a drone. So it's not like the Mavic where it's like, okay, the shot's really good, but the quality is so-so. It's like the same quality, only with a drone. So I have an ND filter on this. I have an ND 1.2 on it, something like that. I usually shoot in like 6 to 10 aperture if I'm doing if I want obviously things to be in focus. And if I'm shooting 60 frames, I shoot the shutter like 120-ish. If I want even darker, I'll just use a different ND, but for the most part, this will be fine.
Take off.
Take off. Monster. Okay. So right now I'm just going to get a bunch of establisher stuff of the actual property here. Typically when we're doing actual drone work, we will do two remote controls. So one person will control the camera The other will control the drone. But obviously when I'm by myself, I just do it myself. But you get a lot of flexibility of just how awesome it is when you can use 2 controllers, because you can really focus on the flight path and let somebody else focus on what shot you can get. The biggest difference too that you notice a lot in the Inspire is a huge difference in your overall like dynamic range. It's incredibly different, like so much better when you, especially when you're doing a lot of aerial like big mountainous scenes like this. You just notice a huge difference in being able to see clouds and sky while not blowing out the shadows down below. Is just such an awesome thing. Or I felt like the Mavic, you really had to make the decision, like, do you want to see the sky or do you want to see the ground? And this, like, being able to see those both is just gorgeous. And the other thing that's important if you have an Inspire is the fact that because it's like a legit camera, you want to make sure that things are in focus, because things can actually be out of focus with this, because it's a true camera rather than kind of the Phantoms are, everything's kind of just in focus, so you don't really have to worry about it. But it matters a lot on this. What are you guys doing now?
They're just eating food, waiting for the photographer. Apparently, this photographer's gonna come here and take some shots of them.
Yeah.
But they said that
She's doing that with the girls. Watch yourself. She's doing that with the girls right now.
All right, very good.
And I got some like overall establisher.
Okay.
In general, there. That's the photographer right there. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Good, yourself?
I won't bother you when you're eating. Scott, good to meet you. I'm Ryan. How are you, Ryan?
Nice to meet you.
Hey, how you doing? Good to meet you. You doing all right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
We drank some moonshine.
Cool.
Time for pictures?
Farms.
Time for pictures.
Yeah, she'll get you. Sounds good.
Hi, I'm Matt.
Dude.
Tight bud. Tight schedule.
You want some moonshine?
Maybe in a few minutes.
Is that his offer to everybody? Like, that's some moonshine.
I did. I would love to get one.
All right, well then I'm gonna go, I'm gonna drive my car down to there to unload crap, and then I don't know where I'm gonna park my car, but I'm not gonna walk it down the hill. It's like a long hill, like I'm not carrying my equipment down it.
No.
So I'm just gonna go unload my stuff, get it out there, and then set up some stuff for the reception, our ceremony, and then that way when you get there, we'll be kind of ready to roll. Looks like an Audi commercial with like the like the way the things turned and everything. It's like that's so funny. The good thing is this will be a really cool ceremony location. The not cool thing is there's like 180 people coming and they don't really have a clue where they're parking. So that could be fun. But let's see. How you doing?
Oh, wonderful.
Excellent.
You a photographer?
Videographer.
Okay, that was fun. Did you have the drone?
I do. That was one of those. I heard you guys go, "What the heck is that thing?"
Yeah,
I know.
sounds like
Yeah. It always scares everybody when you're not expecting it around this area.
Good, you?
So I'm going to just get this stuff. Like I just set it over there for now. I guess I'm gonna go put my car.
Just on the opposite side of the hay there, it's fine?
Yep. And then that one will probably put like legit in the cornfield almost. It's not gonna be touched anyway, so once I get it set, like it doesn't have to be in it, but
Just like a leg could be in it.
yeah.
All right, cool. All right, let's do it.
Either that or maybe because of the way this angle is, because of the way that this is like actually raised, we could put the safe camera back here and wide. Might look better actually.
It's higher up.
Like just do because normally this would be in this, guests would be in the shot, which is why I don't want it, but they're gonna be above everybody because of the way this is leveled. We could put it right here and high, and then that lake, the safe shot is nice, really cool the whole time.
Yeah, that's fine. So normally what we would do, I don't know if Scott already explained this, but basically normally what we would do is we would just set up 3 cameras. The first one's going to be on this side, which is usually just a wide shot of everything. The other one's going to be on the opposite side. That's usually my camera, which I usually man, and that's going to be a tight shot of the groom. So while he's having like his reaction or his vows, I'll be on that side making sure I get him tight. And then Scott is usually on the third GH5, which is he's going to be usually in motion, and he'll be moving around with his either like a gimbal, or usually he uses his Steadicam, and he'll be moving around from shot to shot, getting all those shots of like people coming down the aisle, back and forth each way, and also while basically a nice center shot of like the kiss, and also when they finish and they leave or they exit, he'll be right there ready for them. So that's usually what we do, but we also have to set up audio, which we'll take care of in a few minutes. Would it be safer if I was like maybe here at the end of the aisle, looking in?
No, because that's too similar to the other angle. That's like two of the same things. I think that's probably gonna be the best angle. You're just gonna have to
Fight the people a little bit?
yeah, or just have a monopod and get your groom reaction shot like over there, then bring it back and put it on the tripod.
Okay.
Yeah, like keep the tripod there, but you just go on a monopod over to that angle over there to get a shot the whole time they're coming down the aisle.
Yeah.
And then just relocate
Okay.
to the.
So I'll have a mono with me then, that's cool.
Or we can do what we did last time, and you can do a mono of the people coming down the recessional, and I'll glide back here.
Oh, Frankie Kirby, that one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, we can do that, and then I'll move anyway, get the shot, come back.
Yeah, get all those shots,
shots.
and then you'll go to your tripod.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm probably gonna be passing in front of you at some point just to get like the guys from this end and the girls from that end.
Completely unacceptable.
Well, I don't want
Just
you
kidding.
to, like,
I'm just-
in the middle of
I'm
the
so kidding.
ceremony, get full tackled by one of you
No,
guys. So
no, it's completely
how do
fine.
you usually do your cadence
Well,
here so that I know where-
Typically, we have them over further angles, but because this weird angle, we're actually just going to put
Right.
one back there that'll basically be fairly tight the whole time,
Okay.
meaning the aisle will be basically wide open, like you're not going to block a shot in
Okay,
there.
that's what I was thinking.
This
If I
one,
can
it's not a big deal if
check
you
here.
pass through. Literally, as long as you don't stand in front of it the whole time, it's
Is
completely
there
fine.
any way to like bump this up just a smidgen? I'm skinny. If I can
Yeah,
squeeze
you
past
can-
you,
yeah.
That way I'm not messing up the guests.
No, that's
in the
completely fine.
front.
All right, so this is gonna be on the glide cam. That's gonna be on monopod while they come down.
Okay.
All right, glide cam. You're gonna be on that when they're coming down the aisle. You're gonna then go to that. I'm gonna glide.
I'm just gonna put my camera on the mono on the tripod for now, just while
That's
we're
fine.
setting things up.
And then you're gonna track them coming down the aisle.
Yep.
I'm gonna glide them down the aisle.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the bride comes down, I will briefly follow her down the aisle and get a safe shot just standing there.
That's fine.
And you're gonna, as quick as you can,
Get back to
go
the
back,
tripod.
lock it down, and then
shoot.
tell me when you're locked down. And then as soon as you're locked down, I'm gonna take it off the glide cam and put it on a monopod and get the shots I need to get.
Okay.
Okay, so we actually have to use the camera that Ricky's filming the behind the scenes on, so we're gonna temporarily change the RX100. You're not gonna hear audio. I'll probably just walk you through after the fact what we're doing, but it's time to get the ceremony going. It's days like today that I'm excited that I don't have the Sonys, because they'd all be overheating. For an outdoor ceremony, I always will adjust to the brightest area because it might go through clouds, but I don't really care. If it's cloudy, then I adjust to that, and then it gets bright, it's suddenly going to overexpose everything. So I adjust. In this situation, luckily it's super sunny, so I just adjust to that. If it goes in clouds and gets much darker, I'm not going to change the camera settings. I'm going to keep it because I don't want to make sure I can always make things a little brighter. I don't want it to be blown out. I'm probably going to like follow some of them sideways here because you're going to be tight. I won't be in your shot. Are they coming down on the tractor?
Yes, they are.
Like all the way down to the bottom and then getting out?
Yes.
Okay.
They're getting out right where the first sign is on the left.
Okay. So ceremony good, everything went good. I mean, it's just hot. I mean, it was perfectly overcast day the entire time up until we had to do the ceremony outside. And we basically are insanely toasted. Pablo recorded that. Let's hope he did everything correctly. You got the tripods broken down, fresh battery.
Yep. Tripod's broken down, they're already in the key.
All right.
It's over here.
The reception starts in an hour. Therefore, there's no way they're doing much pictures here, and we got to get stuff at this reception. So we're just going to head right there and start shooting establishers at the reception, and then we are going to. They'll do their photo session there because they're going to have plenty of sunlight. So we're just going to head right over to the thing, and they should make an umbrella hot shoe mount on top of the GH5. It just goes boop, boop, a big umbrella. So everywhere that I'm going, I'm in the shade.
Dude, it's gonna be so good.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. So we wrapped up the ceremony, everything went well. Outdoor ceremonies can just be tough because the light is extremely harsh. There's really only so much you can do. So everything went good though. We are now headed over to the reception. It's only about 10 minutes or so away, but it's very early because it's Sunday. It's an early everything. So the reception actually starts in 45 minutes, which is not a lot of time at all. So we're kind of running last second here. Yeah, let's bring all the stuff. Wheels are on that side, so let's just get this and this. Can you get me one of these? We'll see how much room we actually have. Here, hold this real quick. At the reception location, it's a place in Nutropoli, Pennsylvania called Old Homestead. Nice place. Hey, we are. Oh, awesome. Are you Ginger?
I am Ginger.
Hi, I'm Scott. So good to meet you, the videographer. Sorry, I have no right hand here.
It's
Nice to
okay.
meet you.
Hi, Pablo. Pleasure to meet you.
Pablo. And this is Ricky. Ricky does.
Ricky.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so there's
Awesome. We're
3 of
excited.
you.
This place is
So,
beautiful. This is
yeah,
your new
this
venue,
is-
right? This is the new one. Is this the new one?
It's been about a year now.
Beautiful.
So this is where the reception is going
Okay.
to be, and then I don't know where you guys are going to be. We're going to probably be getting pictures out and about.
Perfect.
too.
Yep. Yeah. Well,
So
yeah. Once you go
wherever
do
you
that,
guys
we're
wanna
gonna go. We're gonna go set up a few things that we do for this, and then I'm assuming they're gonna do pictures later, though, not before the reception.
I'm not sure if they'll do it during cocktail hour or not.
Okay. Well, we'll get some stuff set up, and we'll be ready to roll. Thank you. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say you're the DJ.
He's the main guy.
Scott. Good to meet you. We're the videographers. How you doing? What's your name?
John.
John. Good to meet you. My name's Scott. It's Pablo.
Pleasure
John,
to meet
nice
you.
to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Ginger, where is the head table?
Back against that wall.
Oh, back against that. Okay. So their back is to the wall, right? That's all. That's not how I like it.
Wait a minute. They're up against that box.
Yeah. Sweet, sweet. Not many options for the speeches. The lights are gonna have to go over there. Gonna have to go over there. And they're gonna have to stand here or here. Actually, I don't wanna do here because you'll see the light reflection from that angle to there off this thing. So we'll do this-ish. I mean, the good thing is there's lots of dance floor room. Bad thing is it's just a really weird place for the head table. All right, can you get light stands out and get lights on them, and then we'll start to get them in position momentarily.
Up high?
Well, yeah.
Wait, so you want them there? And we'll move them for the dances? Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna have any options. They're not gonna give the speech out here.
What's your thinking as you're lighting this?
Well, typically we put the lights in an area that are good for speeches and reception, but that's not gonna be possible here. We're gonna have to have 2 different locations because we like the speeches to be, the couple is looking at the bride and groom, and then we light them from an angle and shoot from the other angle. But that's not gonna work for the whole time because the lights will have to be over there and they're not gonna be on.
I'll go stand.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be right in that zone. Yeah, 'cause then from the other angle it should be good. Let me see a camera. So I use torch LEDs, which I love, and I put them high in a stand. The great thing about them is that they're temperature controlled and remote controlled. So I can turn them on when I want, and I can also adjust them accordingly, all with a remote control. And like I've said, the key is you always shoot from the opposite angle of lights. Never shoot at the same direction of lights, or it instantly looks like amateur. What? Then it gives a nice. Because then what it does is instead of me exposing to this and bumping up him so that he can be exposed and then the rest of it's all really exposed, which I don't like, I can drop down the ISO, light him up, and get a nice side profile light. It's good.
Looking all right?
Yeah, it's looking good. I wonder if they keep these doors open the whole time, because that'll play a big factor into the way. Well, it'll just be a whole new set of lights. I'm
Love lighting changes. Love lighting changes. It's good.
Right after we set it all up.
Right after.
Okay, Pablo, can you hook up find 4 dead batteries like that are in that little area and power them up in there in that little thing? And I'm gonna go get audio set up for the DJ. Oh, so we use power banks and these little USB things that can actually, so instead of having to find power outlets, it's entirely charged from the power bank, so you can charge batteries wherever you are rather than having to find power outlets. You got like the nice air moving in here, or is it hotter?
Before it was just the sun, we were like, oh.
That's funny. Hey, do you mind if I patch out of your line out to get a feed?
Not at all.
Since you got power, it makes it so easy and nice and super clean. I love it. I'll go down. Is that gaff tape? I can get another piece to reroute it clean for you. If you don't too, I can get some. I just like to respect your cleanness. I love the cleanness. So when you are plugging into powered systems, you can always basically go out of their line out with XLR and it works really, really well. What I always make sure that I do is, however they are keeping their cables nice and clean, I run the same route with them. So if they're nice and clean against the pole, I always will run clean the exact same way. Never ever mess up their look, especially even if they are messy and it's wrapped around 100 times, just wrap it around 100 times with their cables. You never want to change what they did. So once they get it all set up. But anytime it's a powered speaker will always have an XLR line output, which will basically just be mirroring the same feed that's going in. I really like the speaker as my main source of audio coming from there, because that way anything he sends to the speaker will always come to me as well. If you run out of their actual mixer, you can take the chance of them not sending you something that they're actually sending. So I like to run directly out of the speaker. It's just safer and you don't have to worry about them forgetting, which happened at a wedding recently. Luckily I looked at the audio and noticed it, but they gave me a line out of their mixer, thought it would be all perfect and ideal, but they never turned the output on, which is not what you want. So getting it out of here gets me a mirror of exactly what they're giving. I can get mine, there's no big, he's over there now. Pablo, can you bring me the gaff tape please from the audio? Just give me 2 small pieces. Hit record and put it on holds. Never take the chance. And I always just set it up right away and turn it on and record. That way, no matter what, I don't forget later on to do it. I don't care if it's one massive file that I don't need. I can delete what I don't need, but I like to make sure that it's recording, set it up and be good to go. Batteries are charging.
The batteries are charging. I have a 70 to 200 here with a new fresh battery as well.
All right, so question for you. Yeah. Is now an okay time? I don't want to disrupt you. For the speeches, normally we have the person giving the speech stand in the center of the dance floor and they look at the head table, but this is clearly a very different setup than normal. Yeah. I really prefer to not have them stand next to them. Okay. So, just because I don't like the way it looks with them looking up the whole time at the person giving the speech. My thought was that, you see where the lady with the tray right now is? Yep. If they stand on the other side of the table in the midst of everybody and but facing the couple and looking at that area, it would actually look really nice on photos and video based on the fact that the people would be in the background really, really nicely, rather than them standing, because they have that big, huge white box.
This guy sitting, maybe?
Like if they were standing like this, I'm gonna stand there real quick so you can see it. Like this. Excuse me. Because it would allow me to, because what I'll do is I specifically light the speeches, so they look really, really sharp on the actual speeches, and it's really the only place I can think of that will, like in this room, that's not entirely unnatural, because like the head tables, because normally I would say it'd be easy to do it out in a big dance floor, which is why we do it that way, but they'd be so far away The only other thought would be, like, because I know this couple would be okay with it, would be if we want to bring them out for the speeches and have the person be in the center. But they won't care they won't care either way. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Because then what I'll tell them is I'll tell them you'll go there and announce from there like who the people are giving the speeches.
I'll go there with the microphone.
Exactly, and I'll tell them to just look for you.
We have the best man first, then maid of honor. So they'll just come to me.
Yeah, and I'll just tell them just look for him. He will be there ready to
I'll
roll.
explain that when I line up the intros.
Perfect.
too, so.
Awesome. Appreciate it. And what's the order? Is everything straight after another? Dance is right into toast right away.
Yep.
So if they get done with all the dancing, you'll have everybody seated.
Yeah, it's
and
just
then
their first dance. And
Oh, okay.
that dance is being at the end of the
Oh, perfect. Okay. So you'll just, once they're done doing their dance, you'll have everybody sit and then you can just go announce them from that area. That'd be perfect. Awesome. So the really important thing that I do is make sure that I let everybody know, photographers, DJs, people giving speeches, everybody what I want to do for the actual setup. So no one's surprised by like suddenly me throwing it about them. How'd it go?
Hi, good.
You got some photos?
Still not done.
Oh, you're-
They at least dropped my gear. They're on their way.
While you're doing that, I'm going to talk to you. You can for the speeches,
So sorry.
that's okay. For the speeches, since those are a really, really important part of like what we get for the film's sake. Normally my situation would be that I would set them up in the middle of the dance floor and they would look at the head table. This is clearly a different setup. What I'm
Where's
going
the head
to
table?
against the back wall with a white
Okay.
box behind it, like electrical box, which is
Okay.
kind of weird. So what we're gonna do, I talked to DJs already, and I'll talk to people giving the speeches. You see where the guy in the backwards hat is, standing right there eating?
Yes.
The person giving the speech will be basically face the opposite way, looking at them in the middle of everybody.
Okay.
And just for that specific thing, I light them from one angle.
Okay.
It'll be the same color temperature as the actual lights.
Okay.
And it will look anywhere you shoot besides that angle will look really, really good for it. So he'll go and announce them from there and say so and so is going to give a speech. They'll come to that area and then it will be perfect.
Perfect.
And then the rest of it, they're doing first dance, no parent dances, and going right into the speeches. So it'll be awesome. Sweet. All right, so now I'm gonna find the person giving this speech and make sure that they're aware of what's happening too. On the right side of the table, like look where I was shooting, just put one there and get it and basically set it up about that level. And then put one to the left of the DJ, like almost kind of at the front of where where that little table thing is over there, whatever that thing is. Okay. We're not gonna light the dances because it's gonna do absolutely nothing because there's too much light flooding in. Okay. So it's just gonna be like, let's use the natural light like we would use the other light. So just set that up, maybe set that up that corner, like behind the gift table, so that you can use the natural light rather than shooting into it.
I think what you could do is I'll use the natural light for the beginning of the entrance, but then for the rest of the entrance, I think you could actually glide with them through the wood there.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. But if you shoot like shooting at us this direction,
right.
If you shoot at us shooting this direction, and I will glide
with them
around
because
full
there
things.
won't be people over there by the bar at that time.
No, there won't be. So yeah, just put one, just set one basically far corner, like just against the wood, so it's not in the way of people.
Okay.
And have and the same 70 to 200 that we put on this for the entrances, we'll just carry and bring to the speeches over there.
Oh, so no.
2 tripods, but just keep one camera moves. And the other one will be the 24 to 70. I'll glide with it for the dances and the entrances. Then I'll give you it, and you'll get the reactions with that same camera, but not the glide cam.
Okay, so what we do every time.
Yeah. Okay, so a lot of people like to know how to make sure that people stay where they're supposed to when you give a speech. Let me show you exactly how. The key is you just tell them where you need them to stand, and they won't leave. If you ever have an issue where they don't stay in a certain spot or they don't go to that spot, it's because you haven't talked to everybody. Talk to the DJ, the photographer, the person giving the speech, and they won't leave the area. You're giving the speech, right?
Yes.
You doing good? You doing good? You ready?
Well, I was just asking him. I was like wondering where I'm going to be.
That's what I was going to tell you. So right here, they're going to put you, I don't like you standing next to the couple because it doesn't look good. So he's going to put you right here, and you're going to talk to the couple.
Okay.
So I'm going to have you lit really well. I'm going to make you look amazing on it, and I'm going to make you sound even better. So the key is for me, you're going to, as much as you can, you can have a little freedom of obviously like talking. Try not to leave this whole zone and like go over there.
I don't do public speaking. I'm going to look right at him.
Oh, fantastic! Even better.
Sit my ass down.
And the key is just be really confident on the mic. Even if you're not confident speaking, just don't do this. because we won't hear anything you say.
yeah.
So just be confident and keep it consistent. I'll light you, so there'll also be a bright light, so you'll actually probably not even see people, which will be fantastic for you. You'll feel good with it. But just stand here like you're talking to the couple. Don't pay attention to anybody else. Just literally, the DJ will announce you from here, so you'll know where you're gonna come. You'll come up to him, get the mic from here, and then just talk. As much as you can, you obviously want to talk to the couple.
Right.
If you have stuff to say to people, you can kind of glance around, but your main thing, obviously, you're doing is talking to the couple.
Right.
So just really, you can focus on them and no one else is even here. And I'll make you, even if you're not a perfect speaker in the film, I'll make you sound amazing. So you just be confident.
Sounds good.
Awesome, thanks, Pat. Sounds so clean, so clean. I love it, I love it. Once again, on the glide cam, I never shoot autofocus. Even if you have great autofocus, it's still hard because there's so many people and faces that it wants to grab everything but usually what you're getting. So I usually choose a length and then I just basically stay at that zone. You want to just actually just get over here and not be as concerned with there. I'll get that. Everybody have a seat. I'm taking that camera from you and putting it right on that tripod. Okay. You're taking this from me and getting the reaction shots.
Where's the mono?
Probably over there.
Okay,
but just leave the tripod here. Give me that that camera is going to swap to the camera over there.
Okay.
And just do this.
Get a mono with that.
Yeah.
This is Justin and Lauren Herzog. Make some noise. So let's give it up to the new Mr.
Stop the record. Hold on. Don't stop it.
All right, if everyone could take your seats at this time. I'm going to reintroduce our best man, who's going to do a toast for bride and groom.
Just so you know, there's going to be a light for the people giving the speeches right here. Sorry if it blinds you for like 5 minutes. Excuse me, folks.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, there we go.
I've known Justin since I was about 5 or 6 years old. We went back to kindergarten together. We lived down the street from each other our whole lives. We grew up wrestling together. We also went to
I like to basically frame them very dramatically. And I frame them to the right of the shot, and Pablo will frame the couple to the left of the shot. Okay, so something important to understand the way that I did this. The reason I told Pablo to go on the other side, if you're not familiar with it, the golden 90-degree rule is make sure when you're shooting with two cameras, specifically that kind of thing, you're on the same side, because if I frame them so that they're to the right, I want the couple framed to the left so they're talking to each other. If he's on the opposite side of me like he was, he would be framed right, they'd be framed right, and they both would be facing the same way in the shot, which looks really bad. So always make sure that you stay on the 90-degree rule. It'll make sure that they're talking to each other and not both looking at somebody that doesn't exist. Get it?
Got it.
This camera's fine. Give me that actually, here. Bring both tripods back and I'll use this and just get me a light. Thanks guys, appreciate it. It's great. Also, I always make sure I'm just insanely friendly to people, because I've said it over and over and over. When you are a kind person in life, but in general, when you're a kind person to other vendors, they will always want to work with you again. So even if a situation does not go as planned, I will still always be nice. You will never see me change my attitude, even if something's not going as planned. Be kind to people. You will always win in business. Now we're gonna do cake shots. Any detail shots we always light because we like them to look how we want them to look. And the golden rule with lights, just like you saw in the speeches, is to get your color temperature correct as Pablo's doing, getting it correct. You're not really gonna be able to notice that it's correct in that camera, but he will do a blend between a little warm inside it. Yeah, right there. That's good like that. And this is a good song, by the way. So then I will get my exposure to his light. The stabilization on these things is stupid good. So I literally can do recreated slider shots with just my hands. I don't want people in the shot, so I'll always do it again if they got in my shot. Out there before 30 because it's going to go behind that, like, yeah, probably 30. Luckily the best place is at the very top, which they'll let us go because the higher up you go, the more sun you get too.
Okay.
If we have time, they will let us with the cart go all the way up to the very top. It looks amazing up there.
I say we do it.
It's just a matter of, I mean, it's like probably would take 6-7 minutes to get to there, like just driving alone. Just FYI, throwing it out there, I've walked this course and it freaking sucks. Well, the amazing thing is they have this incredible, you can only see the one piece of the lake right there.
Yeah,
that goes all the way over. It's a massive lake. So if we get them on the 10th tee, that's the 10th hole. If we get them on the 10th tee box, I can just glide along the water all the way to them. It'll look majestic. Dude, like that's what I want to do. Keep that ready to go. Oh, that's your 7200. Yeah. Keep that ready to rock on this. Yeah. Make sure that when you go out there, that you have battery life. It's setting beautifully. Not the second.
We go now?
I would say 20 minutes-ish.
Okay.
It's gonna look absolutely beautiful. And I'm thinking that we'll make it really quick and simple, but there's that 10th tee box that is on the water. I wanna glide all the way down the water when you guys are like on the tee box really nicely. And then we'll hop in a cart, get a quick one, a little bit higher with the sunset. The photographer's gonna come with us and we'll do it all real quick.
Okay.
And then we'll be done and it'll be so worth the 15 minutes.
Okay.
You'll love it.
All right,
awesome.
Thank you.
So 15 minutes-ish.
Sorry.
Ginger, in like 15 minutes, we're gonna take them. I wanna get like one shot on the 10th tee box because I wanna come over the water really, really nicely.
Okay.
She said they're okay if it's 15 minutes from now, like even if the food's being served at that time.
You sure?
Yeah, she said, and then because we'll only be tops 15 minutes,
Right,
and then we're gonna come back.
To the photographer about that
Yeah,
too?
yeah.
So is she coming too?
Yeah.
Are
So
all
go-
three of you coming?
Ideal situation, yeah. Do we have that many carts?
Yeah, I'll get another cart. You guys will have to drive one.
That's fine,
I
that's
can only
fine.
get 6 on mine, including
I used to do it 7 days a week. I played that much golf, so I'm experienced.
All right. All right.
Prep that bad boy. It needs new batteries, and then I'm going to bring an extra set of batteries too. I'm going to leave this case right here. We're just going to carry the drone. And you're just going to bring monopod and 7200. That's it. Are C's good? C's are good.
Okay, so leave those on top.
So the Inspire has very big batteries, and it uses 2 at once, and I have 8 of them. And they're big and expensive, but they're worth it. And it doesn't fly as long as like the other drones do. It flies maybe 20-ish minutes-ish, but 20 glorious minutes. We can't forget these batteries. Yeah. What? All right, well, we're coming down this way, so just run out there and make sure that they come over here. Whatever, just get them over here. Come on, come on. It's gonna go quick. All right, we're going to the 10th tee, which is a fantastic hole. There's a lot of water to the right that I've been in many times. All right, so we're gonna have to do all of it like fairly quickly.
Yep, got it. Do you want my flowers?
No, you don't need the flowers with you.
Okay. Gimme.
You're gonna stand, just watch your legs, do not get cut on those, please. Come right over here.
Should I do my sleeves again? Button up?
It doesn't matter.
Jesus Christ, that gave me heart failure.
So usually what I have them do, if it's okay with you, they're just gonna be in love and do their thing.
I'm not saying
Just,
a word.
you guys look beautiful just like this. Oh my goodness, is that sun good? That sun is amazing. Ah, you moved. I'm gonna do it one more time.
Oh, they're slow dancing. That's why.
She keeps moving.
It's her bustle isn't buckled.
Are you fairly tight on them? If I come down a little bit, are you okay? Are you okay? Sure? Okay. Keep looking at each other, be in love. Easiest thing we could ask. Pablo, I'm going to come real low, probably in your shot. This is ridiculously good. That water looks like a green screen. The reflection over top of it is ridiculous. Just keep being in love. Keep it going.
How do you practice? Has that happened?
No, but we think that you just, trust
Ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, Blue. Holy Blue.
I never even would have thought about.
What, reviewing?
No, well, one reviewing, but then two also putting in a contract that you get a meal.
Ah, dude, no brainer. If you were filming weddings and you were not eating, you're dumb. Sorry to tell you. And we always, basically at this time, we always, not that we could change anything anyway if it wasn't good, but we always just like to look at our footage and just get a feel right now for, are we really where we want to be, or is there something else we need to somehow figure out how to get more of or better of to fill basically the film. This is an 8 to 14 minute film, so it's the longest one we offer, meaning there's lots of stuff we need. So when we're initially reviewing, it's not like we're saying, oh, we need to go reshoot that. It's more of that if we felt like, sometimes when we're rushed around, we don't get a chance to actually like shoot as many establishers as we want and all that. We'll get a feel for, okay, if we don't have enough establishers of this or this or this, we got to figure out how to get more establishers or something. This I know we have a lot of because we just shot a lot of it. Can I have your rings and I'll bring them back to you?
You got it.
Thank you so much. I want to use this wood over here because it'll get the country feel. Put a shield on, lower the intensity, and we're gonna get it real close. Yeah, now we're talking, baby. Yeah, and probably can go warmer, a little warmer than that. The focus is so pristine when it's this close, though. You have to really like. All right, so right from that angle, and don't hit the fence so it doesn't shake it, but just like give me a little movement of light. Hold on one second. Okay. Okay, and roll back. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed. This is a little bit of a different behind the scenes. Hopefully it was much more helpful because I didn't have to film myself, but everything went basically as planned. But as you can see in a wedding, one thing that I absolutely learn every time I do a wedding is the fact that it's You can only plan so much, you can only do it so many times. It doesn't matter how many weddings you've done and how well you've done them. They really decide what the actual day's like. The speeches, the ceremony, the way the day flows, you can plan to a T and still things happen that you don't expect. And the great thing about the wedding industry is it really teaches you to work kind of on your heels. And if you can't handle the pressure, it ain't the business for you. But I love it because everything else outside of a wedding seems like cake. But I hope you enjoyed, hope it was helpful. Leave a comment below if there's anything else that I could answer for you. There was a lot in this, it's a long behind the scenes, but I hope it was super helpful. I'm super thankful for Ricky for coming out and getting some shots. This was awesome. If you want to film some behind the scenes stuff, first of all, you gotta check with Ricky. If he approves and lets you take the spot, then you can do it. Reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram. But thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button if you like it. Comment if you wanna see more like this. But if you comment and say you wanna see more, you might wanna offer your services. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Good night.